Let's talk on the database. Uh, in the application development, the database is a very crucial components. Okay, and whenever we are going to design any applications, we have to select our database based on our requirement, what kind of our application, what the nature of applications, and you can say what the types of information or data I'm going to store, right? So these are the due to that Google Cloud also offer a couple of almost depend upon the nature of applications. Google Cloud offer the databases. Okay, so let's talk kind of a database and what the types of database Google support. So whenever we are thinking, so let's use the cloud enabled database. So we should be clear what are my use case, what are my purpose, and so that we can select a specific database what's really we needed. So let's talk first basic what the meaning of database. Just database, nothing, just collections of organizing data. Database, any informations, any file, anything you want to that you want to store in the way that for efficient retrieval and manipulations. So this is the basic purpose. Database is the where I want to store my data, first things, but I want to store in such a way that's later part whenever I need the database software easily can quickly can retrieve them. And sometime I want to require the particular data need to be modified or changed. So database also offer easy update. So these are the three you can say operations or feature. I want to store my data, I want to read my data, and if needed I can also going to update my data. So these informations any database softwares are offer. So and database can be thought as a electronic filing system where you want to store, update, and retrieve data as needed. Whenever you want, you can get. Whenever you want, you can store. They provide the efficient way of retrievals the data. So these are the basic. Because database is a very big, but this is the basics. Overall, whenever you are designing your applications, finally your application receives some kind of customer information, product information, and you want to store them. And once later part customer want to display, you want to view, hey, what the data I store, what are the products, what are the details. So our applications read data from the database and display for the applications. So in generally, you talk these types of database can be uh, traditional way whenever the we generally read from the college or initial days the applications are built even the nowadays as well as so using the structured query language database that's the relational database and after that NoSQL database there's non-relational database and even the cloud support the native database. Sometime we are going to use the time series database or graph database, key value database, document oriented database, wide column database, and NewSQL database. So if in the database domains, uh, nature of your data, nature of your business requirement, okay, so these different types of database software available. So whenever we are going to select, be carefully understand our application requirement, how much data I am going to store for my application, what are the nature of data, what are the frequency of data, and what kind of customers they are going to use. So these your application use case decide to choose the required fit database for your application. Because any cloud providers are offering these database, but what our need, what my application required, according to my application, I am going to choose the database. So let's talk a little bit about these databases so that we can understand. And even let's say in SQL database, what are the Google Cloud as a GCP offer. Similarly, so that we should aware here, GCP also offer these database. So first talk, let's relational database. Okay, so as you know, relational database is a types of database that store data in the table and well define the relationship between them. So this is the beauty of relational database. We are storing data in the different table. Table contains and row and columns, and relational database try to avoid to store duplicate data. Okay, so they are make a relationship in the between the tables. If you needed data from table 1, table 2, table 3, you can quickly retrieve data from the different table because they maintain the relationship between the tables. Okay, what are the benefits? Lots of benefit, but major benefits, they some relational database support your transactions, ensure that data is consistency, and provide a scalable and secure way to manage your data. Okay, good example, if you talk about the Google Clouds, yes, Google Cloud offer the Cloud SQL, is the database. That's Cloud SQL. If you want to like similar, you want to as a relational database MySQL or relational database is a Postgres. So for both, you have a option in the Google Cloud, have a option Cloud SQL. So whenever I'm going, you are going to the Cloud SQL on the console, they give an option. You are going to create database for your MySQL or your was Postgres. So Google Cloud SQL support the relational database. Okay. So question is that already these database MySQL are Postgres available. Then why we need the Cloud SQL? So Cloud SQL is responsibility to other uh, operation that you are not worried, like backup, file update, software update, anything required update on the MySQL server side or Postgres server side, or any backup or a specific archival facility. So these are the management and admin activities that's generally we required one admin to manage our database, all the operations. So all the administratives work for the database is now taken care by your Google. Now Google Cloud says just you choose, hey, I am going to the MySQL, and the rest, the part how deploy, how any patch update or any security vulnerability happen. So updation of your soft MySQLs or Postgres are responsibility of the your Google Cloud SQL. And these are the generally use case where we feel free. Any online transactional process system where the SQL database or RDBMS is very fit. And even complex any data analysis or reporting something, report means you want to view the dashboard where the data from the different tables you want to display. So in this scenario also SQL database is very fit. And even sometime if you are building any enterprise applications or ERP kind of systems where also relational database is very lots of use cases. I'm not cover all. As a brief, you understand the situation where you require the transactions, you want to ensure the atomicity, isolation, durability, and consistency. So this relational database offer, and this database now you are using the cloud. So cloud say, hey, we are offering relational database in terms of a cloud SQL database. Okay. So let's talk. These are relational. It's non-relational database. That means sometimes say key no SQL databases. So these are the types of database that does not use the traditional table or relational model. Generally, they are not storing make a table row column, fixed number of column, and make a relationship from A table to B table. They have some different approach. Non fixed schema database designs, and these are the some benefits. If you talk the very flexible schema, that means in the relational database you know these tables are going to store name, age, and department. Okay, this is a four column, but many real applications are the different use case where our nature of data is not predefined. Maybe first data come with a 2 or 3 value, second data come might be 2, 3, 4, 5 value, depend upon the experience and nature of business. So sometime we require to store data in a flexible way. Our tables are very rigid. Only you can put data in the particular format. So we have decided created one table for the 5 column. So only 5 row you value you can store this for each instance. Let's say your object return a more than 5, 6, 7, 8 column value. It's very hard to go to the relational database. So due to the nature of business, nature of data, sometimes you require a very flexible kind of schema, and you want very highly scalable and highly high performance kind of data that handle the large amount of unstructured or semi-structured data. So here the NoSQL database, and nowadays many use cases where NoSQL database is very fit, because they manage the structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, and high large volume of data. Whenever high large volume of data, and that's very hard to manage the secure. So these are the some key characteristics on which is basis you have to choose. Hey, if you want to flexible schema, highly available, high performance, and handling your application large amount of data, maybe structured data or semi-structured. So in this scenario you can go with the NoSQL database. And the talk about the Google Cloud. The Google Cloud offer a couple of NoSQL database. Maybe you can say Cloud Firestore or Cloud Bigtable, and even Cloud Data Store. The Cloud Data Store is the next gen of the Cloud Firestore for a specific design for the mobile application and web applications. Okay. And if you talk about the use case, really any real time, any web applications or any mobile application or IoT device applications or any big data analytics kind of things. So NoSQLs or a database are more and more suitable where you want your application highly available, and that can have a flexible set of a schema. If you talk about the native database, like the cloud native database are designed especially for the cloud environment and are optimized our scalability, high availability, and a performance kind of system. And they are basically the because they are the cloud database, so they support kind of a auto scaling feature. Means ki automatically your database going to uh, scale, maybe horizontally scaling or maybe vertically scaling. So they support highly available and performance optimized kind of a database, because they are the cloud. So cloud have these feature ki automatic scaling kind of things. And the very good example is the cloud spanner. Cloud spanner is the Google cloud provided database that are support transactional system and even scale horizontally. Okay, and even these are the cloud SQLs are a database that are automatically scaled in the specific region. Not this is a vertically they are scaling very well. So they support kind of they are highly available and performance optimized database as well as. And if you talk about the use cases of this system, surely if you want kind of global or distributed applications. So because due to the nature of global application, your application can be accessed from the different geographical locations. So our data can be served nearest locations. So multiple scaling are required. In those scenario, these are the cloud spanner databases very fit, and they are highly high traffic web application. If your application receive very high number of requests, millions of requests, this application, this kind of a database can handle, because they are scaled rapidly to meet the customers user traffics. And if you want to some real-time analytics, so this database also very fit. So cloud native database, that means that actually the similar kind of database provided by the SQL to cloud provided itself, and they provide auto scaling, highly availability, and performance optimized systems. Okay, so let's talk the time series database. These are somehow wrong. This is a time series database, and the time series database are the optimized for storing and retrieving large amount of time stamped data. These are the very kind of efficient for storing and querying time series data for optimized and high performance plot. The sometime you want to store data on the basis of timestamps. Okay, so in this scenario, timestamp database is a very good. And for talk about the Google, so Google Cloud GCP offer the Cloud Bigtable or Cloud Firestore with a time series database, means they can handle your the data on the basis of your event times, when your log generated at time generated. So maybe we talk about the IoT sensor. IoT devices continuously generating the data, and we are need to analyze on the time basis. Maybe your financial transaction system, or maybe monitoring and logging applications, where the time is very important, at which time the particular things happen. Okay, so IoT devices, financial trading platform, or any kind of a monitoring or a logging applications, where the time stamps for each log are very important. So in this scenario, this database support time series database, and Google Cloud Big Data support the millions of data and provide the real time, so you can say, uh, query kind of a systems to your systems. And sometime you are building application where required your database kind of graph database just used to store and query complex relationship between the data entity. The graph means ki one entity followed by another entity followed by another, the kind of relationship between the entity, but that's a relationship very complex hierarchical relationship, longer hierarchical. So might be the relational database is not fit here, graph database is very fit, and they are provide the efficient storage and querying of a complex relationship, basically in the social media networking or recommendation engine. So whenever you are talking Facebook or any social media applications where lots of users, and each user have follow the multiple follower, multiple peoples are linked to the user. So where relationships are friend to friend have a multiple relationship, one friend can follow to another friends. So in such scenario, our relational database is not fit, and so the graph database is very suitable. And for this situation, even you are designing any application that's a social networking application or any recommendation engine, you are going to the beach that can recommend on the basis of user preferences. So these are the graph database help us. And for the Google perspective, GCP offer the cloud data store, and for the graph uh, uh, querying database. And if you talk about the applications, so couple of use cases, maybe as talk social media application, a platform recommendation engine, even you're going to the build network topology analysis kind of system, where the edge and nodes are linked to each others, and those required to store data in the hierarchical format. So that are the situation where the graph database is very suit to meet the our requirements. And sometimes you are going to uh, want to very fast kind of a quick constant time retrieval of data. Okay, so generally known as a key value, we know the key, I want to get the value. So the key value database is very simple database, but that's allowed to store data as a collections of key value pair. And this database is really very high performance and low latency and simplicity. So where you want to implement kind of a our applications, user just click and want to fast retrieval, quick database. So key value database help us to meet the such requirement where application can get data very quickly. These data are stored in the format of particular key, and you want to get the value. Okay. So for those, you can say in the Google Cloud is the name as a database manager. Cloud Memory Store. This is the backup by the Redis. You can say just Redis or Memcacche. These are the key value database. So here the use case where the key value is very famous nowadays. So if you are building any kind of in your application, you want to build the cache server, DNS server, or CDN server, where the key value database is the required, because they offer very fast lookup kind of operations for your system. Even in your CDN or DNS or nearest locations, look up the cache database or caching strategy is very nature. For all the caching strategy, the key value database is fit. And even you want to maintain the session management, or you want to maintain the building any scoring systems where you know the particular key, or you want to get the details of those. So those scenario, our you can say key value database like a cloud memory stores backup with the Redis is fit for your requirement. And sometime your the data your application required to store some document kind of a database. Okay, so those document can be contain the complete descriptions of your data, not just one value. So here we can say document database is the types of, again this is also NoSQL kind of database, and that is store the self describing documents. These are the very flexible schema and high performance and easy data retrievals. So for this, if you talk about the MongoDB, similarly here you can use the Cloud Firestore in the case of Google. And generally, these are document database. If any you are building enterprise applications where you require to CMS kind of application, content management system, where you want to upload lots of contents, a report generally contained in the JSON format. JSON is a complete self-described document. So where you want to start complete JSON object kind of a content manager. So whenever you're building the CMS kind of system or blogging systems or mobile apps where you want to store complete information on the form of document. So in this scenario, surely you can use your cloud Firestore database that support you can store data in the form of document complete. And document database is the major benefit. They are very flexible schema. And even sometime you want to manage very large amount of data and fast lookup kind of things. So we have a wide column database, and these wide column database is again type of SQL database, but that store data in the tabular format and with large number of column. So even the large number of data, still you want to tabular format. So that maybe your analytics, your security analysis teams want to run the query on the large petabyte of data, millions of data to get the insight of your data. So those scenario, wide column database are used, and that are very highly scalable and support the performance and efficient data retrievals. And if you talk about the column database, famously you aware about the Cassandra. Similarly, if you talk about the Google Cloud also this facility using the Cloud Bigtable. The Cloud Bigtable is a wide column database. They are support petabyte of data insights, and they support the query where the analytic teams can do the query and get the insight, get the valuable information from the millions of data that is stored in your cloud. And these are the generally very helpful whenever you are designing such a system where big data analytics or IoT data storage or any real-time analytics or reporting engine you are going to the build. In those scenarios, these the cloud big tables are very important, are very suitable to meet your customer requirement. And you can say not the last, but these are the most popular which I talk. But database is the very huge size you can go explore. But last, just the one kind of nowadays terms known as a NewSQL kind of database. NewSQL database are designed to provide the scalability on the top of NoSQL database while maintain the ACID property like a traditional RDBMS. So whatever the nowadays NoSQL database, that's are basically designs that not support the ACID transaction. ACID means atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So sometime you want to get the benefit of your NoSQL means ki schema, flexible schema kind of database, but still you want your data must be support transactional system ACID property like your relational database support. So all the feature of relational database you are going to apply on in a non-relational database. So in this scenario, you can say NoSQL database are designs that can meet the our ACID property transactional systems on the NoSQL database, and that's are a very support scalability, high availability, and support the complex. Right. For those scenario, Google is built like a Google Cloud native database network, Cloud Spanner. The Cloud Spanner is the database that are the support high availability, horizontal scaling, and even support horizontal scaling, support large volume of data, is a transactional system, and they support the your transaction like ACID property they maintain. Okay, so Google is a very unique database. These are many applications. These cloud spanners are huge because the application which I'm working also we are using the cloud spanner. That's our a very unique feature in the globally distributed data still support the ACID transaction. No, so if you want to build any global or distributed application and you want to maintain the transaction, you want to maintain the ACID property, let's choose the cloud spanner. They even you are building very high traffic web applications, and that's our global application where the cloud spanner is very suited. And if you want to build any kind of real-time analytics applications where you want your application highly scalable and support kind of a query and reporting kind of a tools, so those scenario nowadays this new SQL database is also most popular. Okay, so you can say these are the some basics kind of a database which you can explore. But in the case of a form of database is depend upon your requirement. Okay, what kind of a data you are going to deal. So first you have to understand the nature of business and what kind of data customers applications want to store, manage as per your customer use case, your business needed. You have to select maybe one database for one specific use case, another database. So nowadays if you talk any enterprise application, any big application, they are not just using only one database, they are using the set of database, one for the transactional, one for the non-transactional, one for the graph, like a Facebook They are not using just only one database. Okay, so you depend upon nature of your business. You have to choose one database or two database or three database for the different use case and the capability. If you want to deep dive more details on this, the cloud database which we talk, surely you can refer the official documentation of cloud, and which help us to talk to explain more detail about all these Google Cloud database which we talk. Okay, so if you talk about these databases like relational database, so in this relational database, because surely I not cover all the things which Google Cloud as services offer. That they, for the Postgres database, they have a LRDB, and similarly your Cloud SQL for the MySQL for Postgres, even SQL Server. If your application is using SQL Server or Postgres or MySQL, you can just go and choose your kind of a uh, yes, you can also choose this Cloud SQL database. So Cloud SQL is a fully managed relational database system that help us to uh, use existing system on the cloud as well. And if you talk the applications, these are the very good for any kind of CRM application, ERP application, any web application, ERP application, and any SaaS based product where these database are very suitable, right? And even you can talk this notice this relational database, they are not support horizontal scaling, are not globally scaled, but you want to your database is very horizontally scaled and support kind of a global consistency. Okay, so here our cloud spanner Cloud Spanner is the Google database that help us. You can maintain atomicity on the global level, and they are provide availability 9.999%, and these are the very you can say uh, suitable for your global applications. And these are the, if you building any gaming application or retail application, a global financial system transaction you are building, or even any inventory management or any supply chains, these are the case or scenario where the cloud spanner database is the very fit. And even sometime you want to like Oracle database, so this is also have a options where the any legacy system or database that help us. And again, these the notice that these are the relational database, means where you can perform the SQL query, and similarly in the same SQL query we have an option like a BigQuery. So BigQuery is a very serverless, highly scalable, cost-effective, and multi-cloud data warehouse for an availability 9.99% a system is available. So if you want to manage a large volume of data, so BigQuery is help. And even these are the kind of a system you want to build like a very multi-cloud analytic, real-time processing, or any machine learning. So big query database is help from the Google point of view. And even if you go to the key value database we discuss support right kind of Google also, right now. So here you can talk about the memory store, that is the one of the features of the key value database, or even talk about the big table. So here you notice the Bigtable also is the kind of a key value, and key value means they are very fast. You talk about the other database as well as like memory store for Redis cache, but Bigtable is also kind of a key value database. And if you want to more detail like a document database, You can go here, the document like a Firestore database, they are designed for the mobile application, web applications to handle data. And even in memory database, you talk like memory store for the cache management. You can use maybe additional like a database they support. So all the detail, if you want to detail everyone, like let's say you want to read the cloud spanner, just go to the cloud spanner and read more details. So you can say lots of uh, detail on the conference available. You can just look. Okay. Even you are want kind of look the console and go to the console and just select all your services on the Google console. And Google console also find more detail like here your management related services, and similarly all the computer related compute engine, JKE, VM, and batch processing, even the storage. All are the storage you can talk where you can store file, video, images, log file, everything in the like a cloud storage or file store, store transfer. These are the services. These are the analytics related service. If you go a little bit down, they have a database service. So now notice these are the your database service where you can choose which database like LIDB, SQL, data store, file store, spanner, Bigtable, memory store, and these all are the database. Whatever we talk, so spanner is a horizontal SQL database. This is a file store NoSQL database, and these are the also serverless NoSQL database. Okay, this is a managed SQL database. And now here in the cloud console, you can go create database and even you want to check. So if you want to let's SQL, just click here, and now you can you have option to just select. Hey, I am going to create uh, which database you want. Just go create instances, create table. You'll notice they support our MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server. Just choose I want to MySQL database. Just choose them, and again these are the support service level SLA. You can go enterprise SLA or just enterprise, yeah, enterprise different. These are the your by default summary kind of support, and these are the just you want to select this is for the production or development environment or sandbox, different environment for which you are going to create database. Just select them, and which versions of the MySQL you want, select whatever the version you want, and just check your any name, whatever the database name you want to give the your database name, give with the password, and after that you can just create the instance. And notice they are support regional and zonal availability, which region, which zone you want to specify, and just click, and now your database created. And in this database you can create the database table and do query whatever you want, but they support, right? Even you want to spanner kind of database, these are the highly used database like cloud SQL. Go to the create scanner database, and again continue your specified detail and configuration. First we have to enable API and just continue, but these are fully managed service. Just you can use the export. So all the options you have option as first you decide which kind of a database you want, and you can just take the benefit. Okay, so these are the basic brief what the GCP offer services, and according to your use case, according to your applications, surely you can choose the right database. And good option, Google have a lots of detailed documentation available for each day. Let's say you want to read out the detail about the cloud spanner, just Google the detail. Hey, GCP spanner database documentation, spanner database documentation, and you can find out the detailed documentation about the cloud spanner and deep understand what is the kind of a database query, structure query language they offer, and just go out, right? So these are the steps mentioned what the every database they have you can follow. Even the non-relational database, relational database, each the documentation you can find here. So good options. First, you clear your requirement or your application. What kind of your applications, and according to the your use case, you have to choose the database, right? So, in short, you can say Google Cloud offer the database for different use case. If you want to relational database, select. If you want to non-relational database, you want to for a high volume, in memory, key value, document database, graph database. As per your needs, Google Cloud also offer these database systems for your use cases. So that is for the day, and hope this information is give very little bit idea what Google Cloud as a services, as a fully managed services offer the database, maybe Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, Bigtable, and others the database. As per your need, as per your use cases, please choose the right database. Thank you.